post-workout video. Yeah. Oh boy. Courtney with a K brought notes today because between my personal reading, this little course that I'm doing, and life and my workouts, I just had like all these things that were coming together, and I wanted to share them. So here we go. A lot of us know, I've heard of the flight or fight response and how that actually goes back to like our caveman days to keep us from being eaten by bears and stuff, keep us safe, make sure tigers don't get us. And that is a more primitive side of our brain. It doesn't do an assload of analysis. It just is like a knee-jerk reaction because you don't got time to be thinking about stuff when your life is in danger. And then we've got our more rational side of our brain that, you know, thinks things through and helps us make decisions. And we think a lot of the times that is the thinking processes that we actually lead with. But in actuality, as we grow up, we actually, with the way society is, really learn to lean in on the more primitive brain way of thinking, which is why we have a lot of people reacting instead of responding in life, because we are just, it doesn't seem like we don't think we're acting that way. And it blows my mind to realize how many times I've actually reacted this way, but it's like, it's kind of hiding in the shadows, it's little whispers. We have a judge in our head that's always on our cases, and our judge loves to work from that primitive side because that's how the judge stays in power, is by making sure that we don't actually decide that we're in charge. We let it be in charge, and hold on, let's move on here. Let's see. Oh, okay. So here's one of the reasons why I say society, like how it's really become a challenge to put that primitive, judgy side away. There's a lot of negativity that can take over, and that rabbit hole is ridiculous. The downward spiral. We've all been on that, I'm sure, at least once or twice in our lives. And what makes it even harder these days is technology. We are so plugged in to our phones and computers and TVs, and there's just, wherever you go, it's right there. And the real major problem with that is as great as it is to be able to get in touch with your friends and family, super easy to Google something real quick, shit's gotten a little crazy lately, especially lately. It's been crazy, but it's gotten super crazy lately because mainstream media is going so hard on making sure that they're constantly poking that primitive brain bear. Like, we're under that constant pressure from them, where it stimulates our primitive brain, and we find ourselves extremely anxious all the time. They love to, mind you, this is like really messy notes. It really feeds into fear, stress, and anxiety. The problem with these feelings, one of the issues with these feelings is that they actually lower our ability to keep a level head and use that rational side of our brain fully, because instead now we're focused in very tunnel vision on the issues at hand, or the feelings in which they're giving us. We're too busy looking at the danger. And the problem with that is there's been a lot of maybe not fully truthful things being put out by the media. You can look in, like, there's been fact checkers that have gone rampant on social media that turns out they're not even actually for real fact checkers. They're more so opinion supporters. I won't get into all the details, but those are lots of red flags that this seriously has gotten extremely out of control. And the media really wants us just to see what they want us to see and nothing else. which really gives us a hard time to have a full informed decision. I'm even questioning the validity of being able to Google something these days, because I'm not even sure if I'm going to get the actual answers on the top of my bar, because there's probably fact checkers out there that are controlling what can be streamed, what cannot be streamed. So am I certain that I'm actually going to be able to get unbiased just facts to look at? I don't know. Cat drama going on over here. Primitive brains, you know what I'm saying? So I got a little carried on way there, but here's an issue health-wise. Stress leads to cortisol, which can create a buildup of fat. It's one of the reasons for belly fat is stress. Stress and anxiety puts our bodies in this constant state of fight or flight, where we have a lot of heightened activity going on. We're on high alert. So imagine running a machine at maximum capacity at all times, even when it's not necessary. It wears everything down. Same thing happens for our bodies. And to top it all off, it makes it really hard for us to be able to be at peace in our minds. I have a little note here. It just overwhelms the body. So it's really important that we're careful what we're taking in, because the shit that we let in literally festers in us. It's just as what we listen to and what we think about is just as important as what we eat. What we put on our bodies, you mean if you soak yourself in bleach all the time, that's not exactly healthy, right? But getting adequate amounts of sunshine is great for vitamin D production and lowering depression. Having a lot of negativity and despair, because there's a lot of that going around. I mean, they're basically putting up concentration camps in some countries. There's all these mandates going around. People don't know if they can actually for real plan vacations, or if they're going to actually have a job that they can go to. There's people worried about getting the vaccine. There's people worried about people not getting the vaccine. It's crazy, okay? But we got to be careful who and where we're getting our information from. I would have to say, I have not watched the news in a really long time. While I was working at the group home, they had CNN on in the background a lot, and I'm like, holy crap. Because just not really even listening to the stories they were sharing, but just listening to the way they told the stories was enough for me to realize that there was some shit going on. Because journalism is supposed to be bringing the facts to the public for them to make their own decisions on. That's my opinion. Maybe it's not yours, but that's my opinion. But when I was hearing these CNN reporters, it was all opinions and judgings, calling people names and putting their own slant on everything. There wasn't a single just, this is facts that we've learned, and this is things that have happened, and this is where it happened. It was flat out opinionated like crazy. And then I've noticed Fox News is on the opposite side of the spectrum of them, doing the same thing. So if you like those guys, then sorry, I think they suck. But that's my opinion, because I feel journalism should be sharing actual things, just the facts. And if they do have opinions, yeah, that's great. I'm sharing my opinion. I think CNN sucks, and I think Fox News sucks, because I think CNN sucks even more, but probably because I agree with a lot of the thoughts of Fox News. So if you hate me for that, whatever. Living under these constant overwhelms, though, increases blood pressure, increases our chances for cardiovascular diseases. It lowers our body's ability to have a strong immune system, because it's constantly being badgered and wore down, and reduces our happiness and our performance. So, I'm actually reading a really great book right now called Positive Intelligence, and it really delves into our primitive side of our brain and our more rational side of our brain, and it teaches us how to. There's like exercises you can do to help weaken all your saboteurs in your head and increase. He calls it your sage. You know, the one that actually the thinking processes that actually help you be at peace with life and seek solutions instead of focusing on problems. And that is my major focus for 2022, is my whole mindset shift. And I'm sharing this information in my challenge groups. So if you want to join a challenge group, I highly recommend you do it anytime. I know I have like start dates, but whatever is your start date, that's your start date. I just provide start dates, you know, because you gotta have something. It's like I can't start a group and it asks for a start date, and I'd be like, nah, I don't know, you know. Anyways, yeah, because we gotta strengthen our positive mindset muscles just as much as anything else, and we need to make sure we're feeding those muscles the things that they need to become strong and healthy. Okay, that is all. Thank you for listening to my blabbering away, because seriously, this is just a lot of chicken scratch, because I was like, oh yeah, and then there's this, and oh yeah, and what about that? So, yeah, I'm gonna go get ready for the rest of the day. I hope to see people in my group. Invite other people, because what's the fun of a group if it's just, you know, just me and a couple people, you know, just me and a couple of people? I mean, yeah, it's quaint and small, but we're looking to build a community. So a community is a good portion of people, so that there's always people showing up for each other. So when a couple, you know, in a group of 4, if 2 people are, you know, having a rough time and they're not having a hard time checking in, that leaves only 2 people on deck. But if you have like a group of 20 people and 2 people are having a bad time and having a hard time showing up, there's still 18 other people that are there showing up and up on deck, and then that actually helps those other 2 people so much more. And there's power in numbers. So come and join us. La, la, la. Okay.